They always tell you that eating nuts is healthy. But here's a shocking truth that almost no one dares to say outright. After age 60, some nuts you thought were superfoods may actually be silently destroying your ability to get and keep an erection, raising your blood pressure, clouding your memory, and damaging your kidneys, little by little. And the worst part? Millions of older adults eat them every single day, thinking they're doing something good for their bodies. In reality, they're lighting the fuse on their own decline without even knowing it. I'm Dr. Cole, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping people over 60 regain their vitality, mental clarity, and even the spark in the bedroom. And I've seen this story repeat itself countless times. The wrong foods can quietly steal your life force, while the right ones can revive your entire being. So, what if I told you there are 4 specific types of nuts that don't just improve circulation, but can also help you sleep better, keep your mind sharp, and maintain stable blood sugar? Yet, ironically, almost no one over 60 eats them regularly. Meanwhile, there are 4 other types of nuts, seemingly harmless, that are actually culprits behind inflammation, medication interactions, and extra strain on your heart every single day. In this video, I'm going to break it all down clearly. The 4 nuts you should eat daily, and the 4 you should avoid like poison. This isn't vague advice. It's science-based, designed specifically for your body after 60. And at the very end, I'll reveal one nut that seems innocent, but is actually linked to memory loss and liver damage, and might already be sitting in your kitchen cabinet. Before we dive in, tell me where you're watching from in the comments. Are you ready? Because what's coming isn't just a snack list. These are the 4 nuts I consider natural medicine for your heart, brain, energy, and your manhood after 60. Let's explore each one and why they matter so much. 1. Brazil nuts, boosting testosterone and supporting the thyroid. I used to be skeptical about this nut, but after working with hundreds of patients, reviewing thousands of hormone tests and emotional assessments, I have to admit, if I could pick only one nut to help men reclaim their strength after age 60, I'd choose the Brazil nut. Just 1 to 2 nuts a day can deliver over 100% of the selenium you need for testosterone production, nerve health, thyroid function, and male emotional vitality. When the thyroid slows down, which is common after 60, you may notice cold hands and feet, unexplained fatigue, stubborn weight gain, fading memory, and a near-disappeared desire. Brazil nuts don't just supplement, they help wake up an entire system that has been asleep. Selenium also stimulates the pituitary gland to release more luteinizing hormone, LH, which then signals the testes to increase natural testosterone production. No drugs, no dependency, just the right raw material. And your body takes care of the rest. Think that's all? Not even close. The fats in Brazil nuts, especially oleic and stearic acids, are building blocks for the myelin sheath, the protective layer around your nerves. When you feel that sluggish, numb, less sensitive response down there, the issue isn't desire. It's the wiring being frayed. Brazil nuts help repair those connections so sensation, reaction, and genuine feeling can return faster, stronger, and more real. They also contain vitamin E, zinc, magnesium, and glutathione, powerful antioxidants that help protect the prostate, improve sperm quality, and keep your nervous system and memory sharp. I remember Richard, 70 years old, retired, living with his wife, always with that distant look. He told me, "I don't feel anything anymore. It's like I've vanished from my own body." I simply said, "Every day, 2 nuts, don't skip." 4 weeks later, he came back sitting taller with a bright smile. I don't just see, I feel, clearly, warmly, vividly. This isn't just a snack, it's nutrition. It's a gentle command to your pituitary gland, your testes, your blood vessels, and your pelvic floor. Come back to life. Pump blood. Remember who you are. But I always warn my patients, more isn't better. Too much selenium can be toxic over time. That's why I recommend no more than 2 Brazil nuts per day, stored cold, kept in shell if possible, and chewed thoroughly for maximum absorption. If one small nut can wake up your thyroid, restore testosterone, and protect your nerves, imagine what happens when you combine it with the second nut, what I call the silent warrior for bones and brain. Most older people overlook it, but once you understand its power, you'll never want to go without it in your daily diet. 2. Almonds, the quiet shield for your bones and memory. Most people think of almonds as just a healthy snack, something you eat for fun. But if you're over 60 and not eating almonds regularly every day, let me be blunt. You're missing out on one of the last biological shields keeping you from falling apart with age. Almonds are packed with vitamin E, magnesium, and monounsaturated fats, a golden trio of powerful antioxidants that protect your nerve cell membranes from damage, especially in the hippocampus, the memory center of the brain, which is highly vulnerable as you age. When well protected, you'll notice improved recall, sharper thinking, and renewed confidence in every conversation and every step you take. But that's not all. Almonds are also rich in calcium and magnesium. There's up to 100 milliliters of calcium in just a quarter cup. Magnesium acts like a traffic controller. It directs calcium into your bones where it's needed, instead of letting it clog your arteries. This is crucial as you get older, because after 60, your bones don't just weaken, they become fragile. And the danger of bone loss is that it's painless until the day you fall and can't get back up. But with just one handful of almonds a day, you're quietly reinforcing every bone like a skilled craftsman, rebuilding the foundation of your home. And don't forget, the healthy fats in almonds don't just help regulate blood sugar and fight inflammation, they also help maintain stable testosterone levels, keeping you not only clear-minded, but strong in the places you might have thought were gone for good. I often tell my patients to eat 15 to 20 almonds a day, raw or dry roasted, unsalted, and always chewed thoroughly, especially for older adults with dental issues or trouble swallowing. Something this simple triggers a chain of biological reactions, from bone to brain, from blood vessels to hormones. And if you're thinking, is that it? Not yet. Because the third nut I'm about to share hits the place aging the fastest in your body, the central nervous system. It's small, but for older men, it can reawaken sensations you thought were lost forever. Don't look away. 3. Walnuts, the key to memory, sleep, and protecting against Alzheimer's. I once had a patient tell me, I don't believe in these nuts, doc. Fun to snack on, sure, but they don't cure anything. And I get it. With so many overhyped claims online, it's easy to dismiss a small handful of nuts as just an old folks' joke. But then I saw this firsthand. Some people hit 80 and still speak quickly, remember every digit of their bank account, play chess, compose music, even stay romantically attentive, while others forget their own son's name in a single afternoon. What's the difference? Often it lies in the smallest habits, like eating walnuts daily. And science fully supports it. Walnuts aren't just a snack. They're one of the most powerful brain foods nature has to offer. The omega-3 fatty acids in walnuts act like a nourishing glue that helps neurons connect better. As we age, the membranes around neurons become less flexible, slowing the signals between them. That's what leads to forgetfulness, poor reflexes, and that creeping sense that your brain just can't keep up. Omega-3s can slow that process down, keeping your brain connections vibrant and alive. But that's just the beginning. Walnuts are packed with polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. That's something very few foods can do. They seep into brain tissue and extinguish silent inflammatory hotspots, which are the real culprits behind memory loss, confusion, trouble focusing, and that subtle drifting away from reality. Did you know chronic inflammation is one of the root causes of dementia and Alzheimer's? One published study found that older adults eating about 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks showed significant improvements in processing speed and cognitive flexibility. And here's another secret many people don't know. Walnuts naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. As you age, your body produces less melatonin, leading to restless sleep, trouble falling back asleep, and daytime fatigue. I've recommended that many patients try a small handful of walnuts in the evening. Within 2 to 3 weeks, many reported falling asleep more easily and waking up refreshed, without needing a single pill. So, how much is enough? I usually recommend 7 to 9 walnut halves a day. Eat them raw, keep them refrigerated if possible, And never peel off the thin brown skin. It's where most of the antioxidants live. That slightly bitter taste, that's the very shield helping protect every precious neuron you've got. 4. Pistachios. Control blood pressure, protect vision, and prevent diabetes. Did you know? A comprehensive 2015 analysis covering 21 clinical trials found that people who ate pistachios daily lowered their systolic blood pressure by an average of 1.82 mmHg and their diastolic by 0.8 mmHg. Those numbers might seem small, but they're enough to help prevent sudden heart attacks or strokes. Beyond that, pistachios pack nearly 300 milligallons of potassium per serving, which helps balance sodium and keep blood vessels relaxed and open, according to nutrition experts. Sadly, pistachios remain one of the most underrated superfoods for older adults. Just one small serving offers about 285 milliliters of potassium, more than many fruits and vegetables. For anyone over 60, as blood vessels stiffen and the body becomes more salt-sensitive, potassium becomes your quiet ally for maintaining healthy, stable blood pressure. And the most surprising benefit? Pistachios can help control blood sugar impressively well. Thanks to their low glycemic index and 3 grams of fiber per serving, they slow digestion, blunt post-meal blood sugar spikes, and keep insulin working steadily. In an age when millions of older adults struggle with diabetes or prediabetes, a simple daily handful of pistachios can make a real difference, especially when it replaces sugary or starchy snacks. Pistachios also contain 2 essential carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. These act as natural blue light filters for the retina, helping slow age-related macular degeneration. If you've ever seen someone slowly lose the ability to recognize loved ones' faces, you know why protecting your vision is so priceless. I usually tell my patients to eat about 1 ounce a day, roughly 49 nuts. Choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties. If you have arthritis or weak hands, look for pre-split shells to make them easier to open. Pistachios aren't just tasty, they offer control over your blood pressure, your eyesight, your blood sugar, and your overall health. But remember this, while you're building your health with these excellent nuts, there are other kinds quietly undermining you, raising inflammation, spiking blood pressure, dulling memory, even interfering with your medications. They might seem harmless, but their impact is very real. In the next section, I'll show you exactly which nuts to avoid and why you need to know before it's too late. Stay tuned, because this next part may surprise you. 1. Peanuts, the hidden enemy in your kitchen cabinet. Did you know that over 60% of people over age 65 are battling high blood pressure, and most have no idea that one of the culprits might be sitting right there in their snack jar? Peanuts might seem friendly, cheap, and convenient, but they're actually one of the first foods I tell my older patients to think twice about. First off, peanuts aren't true nuts at all. They're legumes that grow underground, a perfect environment for mold to thrive and produce aflatoxin, a colorless, odorless toxin that silently damages your liver, weakens your immune system, and even raises your cancer risk over time. And here's the bad news. Your body's natural detox systems slow down with age, making older adults an ideal target for these toxins to build up. And even if you're not allergic to peanuts, they can still fuel chronic inflammation throughout your body. Not the obvious kind that makes your skin swell, but a quiet, smoldering inflammation that wears down your joints, stresses your heart, and clouds your thinking. This type of inflammation is one of the hidden reasons older people struggle with persistent joint pain, fuzzy memory, and chronic fatigue, but few ever connect the dots. Let's also talk about salt. Most roasted peanuts sold today are heavily salted. For half of older adults trying to manage their blood pressure, eating these salty nuts daily is like taking a slow drip of poison. And don't forget the hydrogenated oils and hidden sugars in commercial peanut butter, ingredients that can expand your waistline and age your arteries with every spoonful. Even natural peanut butter isn't completely innocent. Peanuts are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. When omega-6 is out of balance with omega-3, it actually promotes inflammation, stiffens blood vessels, harms memory, and reduces your body's ability to recover. If you're on blood thinners, peanuts get even trickier. They contain compounds that can interfere with vitamin K absorption, making your carefully balanced medication doses unpredictable. Now, I don't want you to panic over a few peanuts you had last week, but if you're over 60 and peanuts are an everyday snack, I strongly urge you to stop and think seriously about it. And if peanuts already sound concerning, wait until you hear what's next. The next food isn't just a sweet danger. It can quietly raise your blood sugar, increase kidney stone risk, disrupt your digestion, and even pose a choking hazard, dangers that older adults rarely see coming. Stay tuned. 2. Cashews, the sweet trap for blood sugar and kidney stones. I've lost count of how many patients over 60 have sat in my office with the same complaint. Doctor, I'm so tired. My blood sugar is spiking. I have this dull ache in my belly. And when I ask what they're snacking on every day, cashews come up over and over. Almost everyone believes cashews are a healthy snack, recommended for older adults. But cashews have a dark side that hardly anyone warns you about. First, they're surprisingly high in carbohydrates, around 9 grams per ounce, and their glycemic index isn't exactly low. When you eat a handful or two, especially if you're over 60, your pancreas has to work overtime to produce enough insulin. The result? Your blood sugar quietly spikes, adding fuel to the fire of diabetes. It doesn't happen overnight, but slowly, surely, it drains your energy, fogs your thinking, and worsens those blood test results over time. And that's not all. Cashews are also rich in oxalates, compounds that bind tightly to calcium in your gut and block its proper absorption. For older adults who are already at risk for osteoporosis, that's a serious problem. Even worse, oxalates can build up and form kidney stones, those excruciatingly painful crystals that anyone who's had them will never forget. There's another truth people often overlook. Cashew processing is heavily industrial. Raw cashews contain urushiol, a toxic resin similar to poison ivy that can burn your skin. To make them safe to eat, they have to be steamed, roasted, and shelled multiple times, stripping away much of their natural nutrition. What's left? A rich, addictive, buttery snack with little real benefit and potential hidden harm. 3. Macadamia nuts, the silent weight gain trap. You've probably heard that macadamia nuts are heart healthy, or the gourmet choice for health-conscious eaters. But let me be honest, this old belief is quietly harming many people over 60. A rich, buttery, smooth taste tricks you into thinking you're enjoying a natural superfood. But behind that upscale reputation is a hidden calorie bomb. Just a small handful, about 28 grams, packs nearly 200 calories and 22 grams of fat. For anyone over 60 whose metabolism has naturally slowed down, it doesn't take much to start gaining weight. And the scary part? It's silent weight gain. No binging, no obvious snacking. Just gradual expansion you don't even notice until it's too late. Macadamias are also among the highest in saturated fat of all nuts, around 3 grams per serving. This is exactly the kind of fat that raises cholesterol levels and places extra strain on an aging heart. If you're trying to manage blood pressure or cholesterol, macadamia nuts can quietly sabotage all your hard work. And there's more. Many older adults have gallstones without realizing it. They might just feel a bit bloated or mildly uncomfortable after meals, but the high-fat content in macadamias is enough to trigger gallstone movement, leading to sudden, severe abdominal pain, sometimes even emergency surgery. I've seen this happen far too often, and most patients never suspected their fancy nuts were the culprit. Finally, there's one more nut, small, shiny, appealing, that can interfere with medications you're taking, leave a metallic taste in your mouth, and even cause dangerous weight loss in older adults. Most people have no idea this risk is sitting right there in their kitchen. 4. Pine nuts, the silent saboteur of your medications. What truly worries me about pine nuts is that they can interfere with your medications. They contain compounds that affect how your liver processes drugs, from blood pressure meds and cholesterol meds to sedatives. The result? Reduced effectiveness or unexpected side effects. The tricky part? Most doctors don't warn about it because the mechanisms aren't well understood yet, and patients would never suspect that tiny spoonful of pesto. But it doesn't stop there. Pine nuts may be small, but they cause a surprisingly big problem known as pine mouth. After eating them, your sense of taste can turn metallic or bitter, lasting for days or even weeks. It might sound harmless, but think about it. If everything you eat or drink tastes unpleasant, many older adults will unconsciously eat and drink less. The result? Dehydration, unintentional weight loss, weakness, all extremely dangerous in older age, leading to frailty, malnutrition, or even hospitalization. And there's more. Pine nuts are high in polyunsaturated fats, which sounds healthy, but these fats are highly prone to oxidation if stored poorly or kept too long. Once oxidized, they flip from anti-inflammatory to pro-inflammatory, silently worsening joint pain, tiring the heart, and making metabolic conditions even harder to control. And because pine nuts are often ground up in sauces or baked goods, people don't even realize how much they're eating. When we're in our 60s, 70s, or 80s, health stops being an abstract idea. It becomes the most precious thing we hold. Choosing the right foods isn't just about living longer, it's about living fully. The nuts you eat every day might seem small, but they're building, or quietly undermining, the health of your heart, brain, blood sugar, and even your clarity and joy in life. I don't want you living in fear, worrying over every bite, or avoiding everything you love. I just want you to understand, your body is still listening. It still wants to be cared for. When you choose to nourish rather than harm, you're sending the most powerful message possible. I still care about myself. I still want to live well and live joyfully. Let every food choice become a promise to yourself, not just to live longer, but to stay strong enough to hold your partner's hand, laugh with your grandchildren, and wake up each morning knowing you're truly alive.